snowing. Well, it stopped snowing, but I've been inside for almost 2 days. Yesterday was the finale of the snowstorm, or should I just call it just the snow? It wasn't really a storm, but it was a lot of snow, and I think maybe about 5 to 10 inches of snow. And I'm just out here observing the remains of it. I wanted to get out the house because I've been inside, as I said, for almost 2 days. And the last time I've been out was Monday night when I was shopping for food for Tuesday and for today so I can have some food because nothing's going to be open. And so if you want to see the snow, hey Sharon, if you want to see the snow, Sharon, we have snow just like your state. You want to see the snow? I mean, that's just like the remains of it, but it's a lot. I mean, it's cleared up a little bit. I'm walking slowly because I don't want to bust my ass. I almost bust my ass twice. And yeah, it's crazy. I've never seen snow like this, like in my life. Probably when I was like a toddler when I went up north, but I've never like seen it like this. And it's just, I don't know. I'm just like, interesting. But look, I take snow over a hurricane. I actually like it. I actually prefer the snow over a hurricane. Like, I'm not mad. Hey, Squill. So I'm walking slowly. Y'all want to see some more? But yeah, I mean, it's not really, it's clearing up, but it was snowing to the point where yesterday it was snowing hard. Yesterday it finished, but a lot of people were skiing in the streets, like on Bourbon Street. You know, everyone knows that street. So, and there it's cars driving like now. So I'm like, careful. I'm trying to walk slowly because I almost busted my ass twice. But yes, I mean, I locked myself in the house for 2 days. I spent over $70 Monday night, and I walked 2 miles with over $70 of food in my hand to my house. And I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of hard. So because Tuesday and Wednesday places were gonna be closed, and I just been inside, just chilling, laying down. And I'm just now getting outside, experiencing the snow. Like, when I got outside, I was like, oh, let me touch this. But yeah, places are closed. It's icy as hell out here. I got normal shoes on. I don't have no boots. I only have this plain jacket on and a plain sweater. But considering the fact that I had my place at about 75 to 78 degrees for the past 2 days, I'm good. And I left my main water running a little bit because I don't need my pipes to burst. And I also opened my cabinets so my pipes could be warm because I don't need to have closed pipes. I need my water. But yeah, I'm trying to be careful. I ain't trying to bust my ass. So how's you? How are you all? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, like, when I don't have work, it's so hard to get out the fucking house. Like, I don't want to do nothing. Like, it's just so hard. I'm telling you, like, dieting is one thing. Like, what you eat, processed stuff, for me at least, that affects my energy. And it's just, I don't have no motivation because I'm like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. If I go to the mall, what I'm going to do is just walk around, sit on the bench in the mall and just, what am I going to do? So I don't really do anything. I just stay my ass inside all day. So at least with the snow, I have something to look forward to where I'm just like looking at it because it's not something that's, it's not something that happens a lot in the South. Squeal, that's propaganda. Don't believe what them. That's propaganda. Literally every single politician did that. I personally, I'm consistent. I like to be consistent. I don't like to be hypocritical. I don't personally care for Elon Musk. I don't think he should be, I think he has too much influence You know, I'm a turned nationalist. Like, and so he's not an American to me. He wasn't born here, so I feel like he has too much power and too much influence, you know, over America, and that makes me uncomfortable. Especially he's autistic, and y'all know a lot of autistic people do a lot of weird shit. No offense to autistic people. So, but I've been keeping up on Wendy Williams and stuff. I really feel bad for her, you know. I know YouTuber Tasha K helped her out and stuff with the GoFundMe. A lot of her fans donated to her GoFundMe so she can hire a great lawyer to get her out the situation that she's in. Like, I feel bad for the lady. You know, I want well for her. She doesn't deserve what she's going through. Like, that's not symbolically, she lived that life anyways. Like, going to work, going home, closing the curtains. That's the life she lived. I mean, her husband literally did not want her to do anything, allegedly. Like, she couldn't go out. She couldn't have friends. But she would go to the grocery store. You know, that would be something she would like to do. She would actually, like, be able to go out, go to the grocery store, go to the mall. But that was her life, you know. But now it's like you're in this luxury-ass, like, institution, and you're looking out the window, and you're just inside all day watching TV. I mean, that does something to your mental. Like, as human beings, we can't be isolated for so long. That does a lot to your brain. That's why I was like, I got to get out the house. And it's not like she can't get out because she can talk to her neighbors, but she says a lot of her neighbors are in their like 80s and 90s, and it's like, it's not, you know, it's not really her to communicate with those kind of people, because like, what you going to talk to a 90-year-old about? No offense. I mean, I'd personally talk to a 90-year-old, but you can't really trust people when you're a celebrity. You don't know who's going to talk about what, who's going to talk to who's going to leak some stories about you. So, I don't know. I just hope I hope she ends up well. I watched the Breakfast Club interview, and it broke my heart when she started crying. I mean, I do think something is there. Like, she is mentally... She's not like she used to be, of course. I can tell by the way she was speaking. I mean, she's able to form sentences, but when she was speaking, she kept saying, you know what I'm saying? And she couldn't really explain everything, so she had Alex, her niece, explaining the situation. So, but then again, she was like that on her TV show. And I've noticed that when because I've been watching Wendy on TV since I was in high school. Like, I watched this woman in, like, 2010, 2011. You know, like, I'm a fan. Like, I'm a big fan of hers. And so I know, especially from someone that wants to work in media, I knew there was a change in 2014 with the way she was talking. I've started to notice it in 2014. Oh, shit, I'm about to bust my ass. So, like, it's just, she couldn't really explain a story or talk about a story, or she had to rely on the producers and whatnot. I mean, in the beginning, she had the newspapers and she had some notes and everything, but it wasn't like how the change was in 2014. She couldn't really form a sentence, or she would forget, like, simple information. So, and she would make a joke about it, you know. But I just wish her well. I mean, I don't care if she hasn't been 100% honest about her story. Like, I mean, it is what it is, but I do wish her well. And she shouldn't have to worry about not being able to see her father in Miami for his 95th birthday next month. That's fucked up. Like, you shouldn't have to worry about if you're able to attend a birthday of your own father. That's not even promised the next day at that age. That's fucking insane. Like, that bitch should be locked up, Sabrina Morrissey. She should be locked the fuck up. That's not cool. Even my favorite Walgreens is closed. That's why I walked over here. Everything is closed. Elon is weird. I do need to get out more. I don't know. I think I'm depressed. I've always known that. Like, I don't do anything. Like, I can't even... Sometimes I feel like I have fucking dementia. Like, I can't do simple shit. Like, I'm like, I want to get a passport so I can travel. I don't even... To me, that's too much fucking work. You know? Shit. Excuse my language. But yeah, so I mean, I've been wanting to travel. Like, I remember I told you guys I've been teaching English and stuff. Like, I started my own Instagram account, and I've had it since, I think, June of 2023, and I have over 400 followers. So I haven't shared it with you all on here, but I've been doing that every now and then to see, you know, just to help people. Because a lot of people in other countries and in America, considering immigration and everything, they can't speak English. And that's because the teachers they had in school were, a lot of them were at best intermediate level and they couldn't speak English. And if you all know, if you ever took a foreign language class in America, a lot of times you just learn vocabulary word and read and write and learn grammar, but you don't speak. So they learn every single thing in class but speaking. It's like, if you want to learn language, you have to know how to speak, read, write. You have to do all three. You can't just read and write. That's not how it goes. It's like me being a damn engineer, going to school for engineering, learning the formulas and writing them out and shit. And then when it comes to building something, I'm like, well, what the fuck do I need to do? So it's kind of like that for them for speaking. I'm trying to be careful because it's the fourth time I almost fell. Yeah, y'all want to see this? Look. But yeah, I mean, I'm not getting any younger. I wasted my 20s. So, and my 30s, I'm sure it's going to go by fast. Fuck. I just made 32. November, December, January. Don't stop me, police. I'm walking. He about to stop somebody. I just made 32 2 months ago. So, and time flying. January's about to fucking end. Yeah, I feel bad for Wendy. Like, and what I dislike is hypocrites when people say, well, she talked bad about people for years. Like, first of all, what you're doing is what she was doing, but at least she was getting paid for it. And number two, we all gossip. Everybody gossip. A lot of people want to know, what do men talk in the barbershop? Men gossip probably more than women. I'm telling you, they gossip. So everybody does it. And that's why I don't like a lot of people. Because to me, I respect somebody who's bold and direct and who says how they feel about stuff versus somebody who's polished and clean but got dirty laundry that hasn't been discovered yet or can be discovered through research, aka Joe Biden. And I don't like people like that. That's why I don't want to be a Democrat, because that's who they are. At least a conservative shows me who the fuck they are. Trump shows me who the fuck he is. He tells me who he is. I don't have to dig for information. Joe Biden doesn't. Obama doesn't. Michelle Obama doesn't. Hillary Clinton doesn't. Bill Clinton doesn't. George W. Bush doesn't. John McCain doesn't. Trump does, and that's why I fuck with Trump, and that's why I like him. You know. Because the real people are often misunderstood. Trump is misunderstood. I'm fucking misunderstood. You know, and that's because people who are misunderstood, they're real and they keep it 100. And a lot of people, they don't have the cojones enough to do that themselves. So they want to play, oh, let's throw fingers at this person because he's not like us. Or they're not comfortable to be that way, so they want to throw fingers at that person. So yeah, that's why I mess with. I like Trump. Doesn't mean I don't agree with every single thing Trump says. Policy-wise, I don't agree with him on the vaccines. You know, on immigration, I'm more radical with immigration than he is. On abortion, but I still like him over Kamala Harris any day. She's not, well, let me not step in there because I had a neutral rat dead over there. I want to step in there, although snow is covered. But yeah, I mean, so, and here's the thing. We've come to a time where people don't want to even be friends with somebody that has a difference of opinion in politics. And to me, that's crazy. Or they don't want to date you because you're a conservative or because you don't mind Trump. That's just crazy to me. Like, Nelly or Ashanti should not be losing fans because Nelly decided that he wanted to perform at the Trump inauguration. Carrie Underwood should not be going through the shit she went through because she decided she wanted to That's called business, okay? You know, CNN should not, even though I can't stand them, see, I keep it 100 both ways, even though I can't stand CNN. CNN should not be looked bad because they want to bring Trump on for an interview. That's how it used to be back in the day when Larry King was alive. He had different people, different opinions. That's called America. If you want any other way, move to fucking Russia. Move to Iran. Move to fucking Saudi Arabia, dude. That's how they are. They are a one thinking type of nation, and America is not that. And so for you to understand what I'm trying to fully say, you need to travel and go to other countries and see how they fucking live. You see, Brittany Griner, the woman who said she doesn't put her hand over her heart during the Star Spangled Banner, or she kneels. When she got fucking locked up in Russia and America had to save her ass and she came back to America healthy, she did a whole paradigm shift of thought. And so sometimes you need that. You need to have a death experience, a life or death experience. So I'm just like, get over yourselves. Like, I don't give a fuck who you support. I just care when people just they're just so close-minded. Who cares? Like, get over it. You know, so anyways, that's my rant. See, Squeal, you made a rant about that. You need to get out more. Child, like, I'll tell you what. The place I was working at, and y'all know this place if I say the name. The place that I was working at before I got this other job was DEI infested, right? And when I first got that job, actually when I interviewed for the job, they asked me, oh, what is your last name? Oh, you know, and I was like, oh, it could be French. Like, I just know why they're asking, because I'm not gonna be placed under your quota. I don't want you to hire me because I'm some kind of what they call a minority or a person of color. I'm not that. I'm a human. I'm an American. That's it. I'm not a minority. I'm not a person of color. Don't call me that. That's degrading towards me. I'm not a costume. So that was done. And then a coworker, literally my 7th day there, maybe, this coworker of mine, she's from Venezuela, right? And by the way, they're not even full citizens. She asked me about my last name. She's like, you know, what's your name? Like, you know what it is? I was like, oh, you know, it could be French. And then the supervisor who she was dating at that time, and I didn't know, he was like, yeah, you know, Louisiana is a French-speaking state. Okay, so now I open a can of worms for myself as a so-called white man now, since I'm French, to not even say anything remotely controversial, or to not even just like say anything at all, whether it's like logical or not, about anything. And I'll give you an example of what I'm trying to say. I had a customer that was waiting in line. Now, mind you, this place is kind of like your Nordstrom, like your, your average retail store, Abercrombie and Finch, stuff like that, Hollister. I'm not going to say what it was, but if I say, you guys are going to know. And we had a line. And so at the time, we have these intercoms where if you press a button on a computer, it says, please go to register 5, right? I was on like register 9. The Spanish girl who asked me about my name, she was on register like 1 or 2 on the other side. And then it had another Spanish chick that was right next to her. So I pressed the button so the Spanish guy, the customer, can come to my register. He didn't understand it. Couldn't speak English. So I did say next, and then I waved my hand. He didn't understand that. So the next thing I said was hola, and he understood that. And then I waved my hand and he came by me. Wasn't offended, nothing. Very, very common. Actually, people are happy when you speak a part of their language that makes them comfortable. This bitch from Venezuela, my coworker, hold on, not her, the friend by her, the other girl, she said, she was like, oh, Jordan, you don't want to offend the customers. And I'm like, in my mind, like, here the fuck I go with this liberal bullshit. And so after I finished with him, I told her, I'm like, he was not offended. He was actually appreciative that I said something to acknowledge him so he can come and I can serve him. And then the Venezuelan bitch said, the other girl, the Venezuelan girl this time, she was like, well, I'm offended and she's offended. Literally, just for saying hola. That's what I'm talking about. So now, since I'm French, I open a can of worms of not even being helpful with something logical of a necessity for another race. Like, that's just the times we live in now. That's why I don't fuck with that party anymore, right? So then the Spanish customer goes up to the Spanish chick and they continue to talk about me in Spanish. And she was talking to me in Spanish, thinking I didn't fucking know what the fuck she was saying. And then she told the customer what she told the customer. And the customer looked at me, whatever. Hey, how you doing? And he was like, no. Yeah. And he was like, oh, he looks Spanish. And then the Venezuelan bitch was like, no, he's not. You see what I mean? And so to be the bigger person, look, I'm talking loud while I'm passing up this person. To be the bigger person, and I should have never done this, but, I wanted to be a bigger person, and I'm much older and much more of a professional than with that bitch and the other bitches. Before I finished my shift, I went up to them. I gave both of them a hug. I said, está bien. They said, yeah, we're good and everything. And then this Dominican girl comes in for her shift, for the night shift, and she's like the lead, the lead up front. So a little above me, like a title above me, and above the two other Spanish girls. She asked them what happened. That's when I left. And the Spanish chick ended up reporting it to the store manager. So now the narrative is that Jordan is prejudiced around the whole fucking store. Literally. I'm telling you. This is DEI. This is why I don't fuck with that shit. I've never fucked with it before. And so the girl reported it to the lead, and the lead reported to the store manager. And I knew, and I never told the Venezuelan girl that I know, but the bitch would always say, oh, hi, Jordan. She would always tell me hello and everything, not knowing that I know what the fuck she did. So next thing you know, again, like I said, there's rumors around the store that I'm prejudiced, right? So now, I'm not even done. There's this black girl that I was working with. I'm sure she got heard of it. She knew about it. And not only did I have to deal with that Spanish bullshit, I also dealt with, if I helped a black customer, this black girl who's an associate, she would ask the black customers if I was rude to them, right? One time, I'm gonna give you an example. One time they had this black customer from a different store that works for the same company. She came and she wanted to use her discount card. Now, by policy, although we weren't taught this, but this is fucking common sense. But again, since voter IDs exist and black people can't get their driver's license or ID, I guess this is racist. I didn't even ask for her ID. I just said, oh, what store you work for? She told me. And the conversation was, just very neutral, like nothing, no bad energy, nothing. So I didn't see her, but she went to the back of the store after I finished the transaction with her. And she talked to that black girl that don't like me. They don't even know each other. But sometimes cultures, they stick up for one another. She told the black chick who I work with, she was like, our associate's supposed to confirm where we work in order for us to use our discount card. The sales associate, as stupid as fuck as she is, she said no. And I'm telling you, I was the only person on the register. And I'm passing my workplace right now that I'm talking about. I was the only person on the register. This ugly girl comes up to the register, literally berates me in front of the whole fucking store. She scolded me from the whole store. Let me not walk in here. It's a lot of snow. And she was like, you're not supposed to fucking ask customers if they have, confirmation for an ID card. You're not supposed to ask for your ID. And this is all that I told the girl. I was like, can you please, literally, I said it in calm tones. I said, can you please not yell at me in front of the customers? So at that point, I had two white customers that I was serving. I told them, listen, I don't want to put you guys in this, but can you stay here a little bit to be my witness? I'm going to call the supervisor up so you guys can be my witness in terms of what you saw. So the supervisor come up, and she's a black supervisor, not a good one either, but whatever. She comes up, and The 2 white customers told her not only what she did to Jordan was bad protocol, but she should have also helped him with the customers because he's up here by himself, right? Okay, next day, I reported it to the store manager, and the assistant manager was there too, two white people. And so I reported to the store manager, and the store manager was like, all right, I'm gonna talk to her. 16 fucking days go by, 2 weeks and 2 fucking days go by, not one word to the girl, right? So on the 14th day, because the store manager, and the story gets hotter than this, because the store manager didn't want to do his job, I decided to professionally confront the girl who berated me to see if we can kind of come to an amends about the situation. So I'm doing my job, I'm stocking, I see her walk past by. I'm like, hey, can you come here for a second? She was like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, why did you yell at me the other day when I was simply doing my job? She's like, oh, because you're not supposed to ask people for their ID, or you're not supposed to ask people where they work, in order for them to use the discount card. And I'm like, yes, you do. Literally on our discount card, which is our clock in, clock out card, on the fucking card, it says, must present a photo ID in order to receive your discount. Literally. That's what it says on the thing. Then I asked, I'm like, well, did you know her? She dodged that question. So, of course, the reason why she defended her is because she's a black woman. Had it been a white woman, different story. So she was like, oh, you just need to be careful how you talking to people. I've been getting reports about customers coming to me. I'm like, well, can you give me an example of what reports you've been getting? Mind you, this woman is a sales associate. She's not a manager, right? Okay. So she couldn't provide me an example. I'm like, all right, well, can we at least start at a clean slate? She's like, yeah. And she walked away saying, you just need to be careful how you fucking talk to people. Okay, so that's day 14. Or maybe day 15. Day 16, I'm like, okay, this is the next day, about the next day. I help a customer. She's up front putting shit on the shelves. And I helped this black lady. She was being a little complicated, but I helped. She kept saying, delete this item, put it back on, delete this item. I finished her transaction. She was like, oh, I forgot to give you my rewards number. So I told her, I'm like, you can go on this website here and you can redeem it there. She's like, all right, no problem. So when the black lady left the register, the same bitch was like, hey, was he rude to you? Now, when I heard her said that, I'm telling you, like, my fucking insides was warm as fuck. My body turned red. And so I told the associate, I was like, look, I need to handle something. I need to get off the register for a second. Can you mind just covering for a few minutes? I barged to the back. The store, I was like, look, since you haven't handled it, I'm going to go talk to HR. He was like, what do you mean I haven't handled it? I'm like, you know what I'm talking about. You haven't talked to her. And she just did the same thing she did before. So they put me on break. You see the gaslighting here? They put me on break. I hear on the intercom that they called that ugly bitch to the office. Mind you, this girl's not in her 20s. She's a 47-year-old grandma. If I tell this story and I ask people, guess how old do you think she is? They're like, 20. I'm like, no, she's 47. She's like close to being my mother, So he called her up to the office, right? I'm on my break. I get off my break. I come back to the register. She clocked out. She's in line to buy something, right? And the store manager who just spoke to her went to the register. She's like, oh, thank you, Mr. John, for, coming on the register. So she was just saying that because she didn't want me to cash her out. I saw them flirting, right? They were flirting, right? Dude, they were flirting. And the manager, he's a white man. So when I saw them flirting, my mom like, oh, fuck. And, do I really have to go through this? So about 2 weeks later after that, he promoted her, the supervisor. Come to find out, they fucking. They're having sex. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Right now, she's my boss. Now I'm her subordinate. Now she has this little power. So that same workplace, I'm telling you, that same workplace, they told me, they're like, oh, Jordan, I need you in the warehouse because I need somebody more reliable and more consistent, da-da-da-da-da. And I knew they were full of shit. I knew they were lying. The real reason why they didn't want me on the register is because, number one, that bitch probably complained to the manager. And because of the Spanish girls, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna try to fight this, whatever. So I go in the warehouse, and they put me on shoes where I open up the boxes for shoes. I censor the shoes and everything. And my job is to put out the shoes. That woman who they promoted to supervisor, she started complaining about the shoes. You see where I'm going with this? She started complaining about the shoes. Then, after the shoes, they hired this new girl that used to work in the past that came back. They put me now with clothes. Like, my job was to, like, censor the clothes, put the clothes on the rack, put other products that we get out there, and put everything stocking. We started with 3 people doing that. 2 of those people quit. So now I'm doing, as one person, 3 people's jobs as one person, right? And me, I don't complain as long as you don't test my professionalism or test me in the wrong way. I'll do the job. I'm a hard worker. So now they moved me in that department where I'm stocking everything. The clothes, I'm stocking, like, not just the clothes. I'm stocking also products that you buy, like candleware, dishware, tech, gift stuff, everything, like the whole store. By myself. That's how I lost my weight, by the way. If you want to know how I lost my weight, it was unplanned. It's because I was doing 28,000 to 32,000 steps a day, which is 20 plus miles a day. That's how I lost my weight, because of that job. That's the only good thing that came out of that job. I'm doing that for 7 months by myself. Guess what she's doing? She's complaining to the store manager saying, oh, Jordan is not putting everything organized correctly. So at this point, from being a cashier, from being on shoes, to now stocking the store, she's complaining. So in other words, she's trying to get me fired. That's what she's trying to do. So, because there's a track record. So I left that job in October because I had enough. But I'm going to tell you why I left that job. So I'm telling you, in between that time, before I left that job, like, I tried working with that girl. I'm telling you, like, I even tried being the better person, although she doesn't deserve it. I'm telling you, I've never did anything to this woman. Nothing at all. I've asked her what I've done to you. She told me nothing, but she would indirectly do shit. So I've made amends with her during the cash register situation. I tried to work with her when they even put me in the back, although more than likely she's the reason why I was put in the back, because, again, she's sucking the store manager's dick. And so and mind you, when she did what she did when I was on register, I didn't speak to that girl. Like, when she got promoted, when they promoted her, even the other supervisors, they're like, Jordan, we weren't even told that she was going to get promoted. He just promoted her out the blue. Literally promoted her out the blue. And so word got around the store, because she's stupid. She told all the black people in the store that she's having an affair with the store manager. She told everybody in the store. That's very stupid of you to do that, by the way. And so, so anyways, the ground breaking point was, one day I came to work, and mind you, I walk to work. A lot of times I have to be there at 7 in the morning. So I'm walking to work, like I'm walking now, like walking to work at 7 in the morning. I go there for 7 in the morning, and again, I'm stocking up my carts. Now, the carts that you stock, it takes you 30 minutes to do each cart. That's how much shit is on that cart. I'm on my second cart by 8 in the morning, almost on my third. I lost so much weight, my speed picked up so fast. I'm almost on my third cart. So I almost done on my second, on my third. The janitor, we have a janitor that come in the morning. They do some cleaning. His English is not really up to par. But he asked me a question. He was like, hey, Jordan, what did so-and-so told me to do? So-and-so is the woman who's having an affair. And I was like, oh yeah, she just told you to take out the trash behind the registers and everything. So when she heard me tell him or talk to him, she didn't acknowledge me, but she said, you've been in the same spot for the past 30 minutes. Y'all need to limit y'all talking. That's what she said. Exactly, verbatim. Supervisor, but can't even speak correct English. So I didn't say nothing. Well, hold on. I did say something. I told her, I was like, he asked me a question, you know, and I'm almost finished my second cart. You guys, I don't report to her. There's a warehouse supervisor that I report to that knows me, I mean, she's two-faced. I told you, she's a black person. So of course, look, I'm keeping it 100. A lot of black people, look, they're going to stick up for one another, you know, and that's what happened at this job, at least the one I had. So anyways, I go in the back to the warehouse. I grab another cart. I bring it back up front where the supervisor is. You know what she told me? She's like, leave it here. Y'all put stuff anywhere. That's what she said. You know what I did? I rose my hand up in the air, meaning like I'm done. I went to the back. I'm like, look, so-and-so just like yelled at me, berated me. Look, I'm not going back out there to get that cart, you know, because she wanted me to take some stuff out of that cart and put it in other areas, and she wanted to stock up the food. It was like some food that we had, some chips or whatever they had to stock up herself. So I told her, man, look, I'm not, like, after what she did in front of everybody and everything, like, I'm not going to tolerate her speaking to me that way. So next thing you know, that I told that to my warehouse supervisor. She got called on a walkie-talkie to come to the office. So now the slut, that's what I'm going to call her, the slut called her by the walkie-talkie, because they have walkie-talkies. And the sales associates, we really don't carry them. She called her into the office and they had a discussion. So the warehouse manager went, the person under the warehouse manager, who I can't stand either, by the way, went to the office and they had a discussion about who? Me. Of course, me. Had a discussion about me. Look, they setting up for Mardi Gras. I have to go under this thing. She is a witch. I'm just now reading that. I'm telling you. Okay. So next thing you know, the warehouse manager comes up to me and I knew I was going to ask, she's like, Jordan, you know, come to the office. So I'm in the office. The warehouse manager's in the office. The assistant to the warehouse manager's in the office, but the slut is not there. So the slut is trying to make me not know that she's the one that started this conversation, you know, by reporting me, because I don't have walkie-talkie. But I knew it was her because they told me it was her, number one. And so number two, they were like, oh, again, they were doing gaslighting tactics. They're like, we've been being told, this is where I said black people, they stick up for one another. We're being told that you're doing too much talking. You're talking to the customers too much. You're not doing your job. And I'm like, well, hold on. I'm not doing my job. I'm talking too much. If I'm talking too much and I'm not doing my job, why am I getting 95% of the job done of 3 people? 3 people, myself and 2 other people. The exact amount of people that started when this position, you know, was given to me. You know, they couldn't answer that. They couldn't. So now it's gaslighting. This is what they do. And business law is called PIP. It's like performance something. It's like, that's when you know you're on the cusp of them starting a track record about you. So you won't be able to retaliate and sue. You know what I mean? So they're like, oh, we're going to document the situation. You see what I mean? Document the situation, yada, yada, yada. And the assistant to the supervisor was like, you know, each time I see you, she's like, you know, there was this one time I saw you talking, but when I always look, you're working, and I'm not sure what was going on, but we're being monitored, blah, blah, blah. And so I told them the situation that I'm telling you all now about the register. And again, like, the assistant to the supervisor was like, oh, you know, I've been on the register before, which is a lie. That bitch has never been on the register. And a lot of times when I get people with those cards, I tell them to go somewhere else. So anyways, it just ended up with me being pissed off. And I had to go back and do my job. And here's the thing. That day when I got called in the office, I was on day 4 of the work week. And I was the only one out of everybody in the whole store that got my 40 hours. That doesn't happen in retail. You have to hustle to get your hours. I was the only person. So someone that works 4 days out the week about to get 40 hours. And by the way, I did that on purpose so I don't tell the supervisor. Because once I knew she was a fake bitch and didn't really have my best interest, or at least be fucking neutral and go by the facts as opposed to being black and defending another black woman over race, that's when I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get my 40 hours this week, and I'm not even going to tell her that I'm about to get 40 hours so I can have 3 days off. So at the end of my shift, I told her, yeah, I made my 40 hours this week. And she looked at me like very sad because she knew she not going to have somebody for the other 3 days to do the shit that I do of 2 to 3 people. Actually, 3 people, not 2 people. So I told her I made my 40 hours, and I further explained what we were talking about in the office. I'm like, look, I told her what I told. I'm like, look, like, you know me, you know I do my job. You know how this girl is. She's been trying to get me fired since the beginning and whatnot. She's like, oh, you know, I don't know nothing about that, da, 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 da. Next thing you know, this black girl who's security, she's friends with the slut. She came into the back acting like she was grabbing her backpack, but she was trying to hear our conversation. So then the slut comes in. She's like, oh, what they talking about? She's like, I'm a grown. Then she was like, oh, I'm a grown woman. You guys, when she said that, I wanted to say so bad, well, a grown woman doesn't sleep with the boss. But I'm like, you know what, you may not even say that. She's like, oh, you could have come talk to me. I talked to you so many times about the situation. Like, I've talked to you so many times about the situation. I've talked to you in the past about it. But you keep continuing to do what you're doing. And then again, denial. So I left. The next day I called the district manager and I came forward about the affair. Yep. So it's like, here's the thing. It's not my business that you're having sex with the boss, but now since you're using your power for evil and you're using it to attack my character, my professionalism, now it becomes my business. So I made it my business. So I reported to the district manager. I reported to the boss over the district manager, who happens to be Era, by the way. And again, I wasn't really expecting anything to be done because that's just how places are. But when I reported it to the district manager the next day after I made my 40 hours for that 4-day work week, she was condescending on the phone. She was biased. You know, she told me, she was like, oh, why do you still work there? Why won't you just leave? She also said, she's like, well, none of the supervisors were ever rude to me. You see how biased and unprofessional it is to say that to an associate? Number one, of course, they're not going to be disrespectful to you. You're a district manager. Why would they do that? And number two, who are you to tell me why I should leave? That tells me that y'all don't care about y'all employees and they have a high turnover. I'm telling you, they hire like 10 people a week. Like, they have to have a hiring rate. Literally every single day I go into the office, I see a board of people going to orientation. They keep a hiring rate. And so the people who's there for seniority, they throw them to the trash and they hire these new people and they consider them and give the seniority people hours to the new people. So that place is trash. I'm telling you, it's not me. Before I even got that job, I looked that job up on YouTube and everything, and I brought that to the interview, and the man was like, oh, you know, don't worry about that. And so going in, I knew that job was shit, but it's like, you know, it's not cool for the people who do their job to have to deal with this type of shit, and the people who don't do shit, they get favoritism. And they get treated better as if they do their job. That's not cool in the working world, but that's what happens, unfortunately. So when I reported to the district manager next day, she said what I just told you. And so, again, a month went by. I'm going to work. I'm still pissed off. I had a couple employees that come up and they're like, Jordan, you're not yourself. What's going on? For a month, I felt uncomfortable to even say hello to my coworkers. Because again, they're going to say, oh, he talking. But at the same time, you guys, the black people in the back, they can go out, they can smoke a cigarette, they can talk to the employees, they can go to the grocery store next door and buy something, and nothing gets said to them. But if Jordan even does something that's not even something to be reported, like say hello or whatever, I'm telling you, they started monitoring me, y'all. I'm telling you. You know. So a month goes by, I'm being asked by coworkers like, hey, what's going on? You're not yourself. The hurricane. We had a hurricane. Hurricane Francine. I could not afford groceries to even buy myself food for 2 days. That I was locked up in the house because now I have to worry about paying rent because this job was treating me like I'm less than a cockroach on the floor. Not only that, within that month period after I talked to the district manager, my hours were cut extremely. For 3 weeks, everybody that worked with me in the warehouse were getting 40 hours. I was getting 15, 18, at most 21. The warehouse supervisor was lying to me and saying, "Oh, we didn't come to work that day. We didn't get a truck. We didn't have nothing in inventory." But I knew she was lying. I would ask her questions, and I had proof that she lied, So now I'm being retaliated against for coming forward when this company literally has a policy that says we have an open door policy, right? So I had to deal with a month of that. Can you imagine going through a hurricane and saying, okay, it's category 1, category 2. You live by the fucking levee and you have no food, no water. You barely have any money because of a situation of a woman who's having an affair with the boss and using her power for bad. Can you understand that situation, how a person can feel if they don't have money to support themselves? And when they didn't even do anything, that's just crazy. I did. I did. That's the proof I have. So a month went by after all of what I just said, and now corporate comes to the store. Now, mind you, I met this corporate person before. He's from the Middle East. So I'm like, okay, since this place is DEI, I'm gonna use my DEI card. I'm gonna play the game. So I've met with him in the past, and we kind of like exchange pleasantries and everything. So I'm like, you know what? Report it to him and see if that works. And if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna put him out 2 weeks and quit. A normal person would have walked out that fucking door. So I see him with that bitch, that white bitch, by the way, who was condescending on the phone. And he was like, "Oh, hey, Jordan, how are you?" And I told him, "Not good. I want to talk to you." That's what I told him, straight up. And so he was like, "Okay, well, I'm trying to show him something. Give me a little bit of time." So 20 minutes go by. He grabs the district manager, because I'm sure the district manager told him what we're going to talk about. He grabs us. Now he has a witness. And we go to the office. I'm telling you, when we went to the office, guess who came out the office? The slut and the store manager. So now in the back of my mind, I'm like, look, I don't want to go in that office because they could be recording, our conversation. And so he was like, just come in, have a seat, whatever. So I'm there explaining my story. And you know how when you're just like fed up, it's been a month of you worrying about paying rent. It's been a month of stress. It's been a month of you not being yourself, not being able to be a human being because you're going through the situation that you're going through. And when I communicate how I feel, all of that stress came out, and it came across as like me being aggressive, but I'm not. It's just really all of that tension that I've been going through for a month, and just like I'm just tired, And it's like you're being placed on the spot because now you have to speak to the regional manager and the district manager about the situation. And I'm telling you, I looked the district manager in the eye. I said, "Do you know what you put me through? For the past month, I couldn't pay rent after I talked to you." And I told the regional manager what you said. I'm like, first of all, when I had that conversation with you, it's not your call to tell me to leave a job. That's not your call. You're supposed to be neutral. The bitch denied it from the regional manager. Then I told her, I think I know as a man when another man's having an affair with a woman. Because she was like, when I told her about the affair, she's like, "Well, did you see them outside of work?" So in the room, I was like, I think I know as a man when another man is having an affair with a woman, and I don't need to be outside the workplace to know that. I'm telling you, the person who she was on the phone was a total different person that she was in person. Then I found out her husband was in the background when I spoke to her on the phone. You see how this whole witness stuff works? She was like a wounded cat in person. But on the phone, she was like Superwoman. Totally different person. Her face was turning red and everything. I looked at this woman like a fucking lion, and I looked at her in her fucking eye, like 5 feet away from me. She couldn't even look at me in the eye. And so, the regional manager, he pissed me off because he wouldn't let me finish my whole story, number one. Number two, he again, I'm not sure if they go through gaslighting training, but he was gaslighting me as well. But at the same time, he tried to help. He was like, okay, well, would you like me to transfer? I'm like, well, no, I walk to work. I walk 2 miles to work and 2 miles away for work. I should not be able I should not have to accommodate to a different location over something that's not my fault, over something that is literally more than likely against company policy, because there's an affair that's happening here and that's being used, to plot for me to get fired. And he said, oh, we're investigating that. We can't talk about bullshit. They're not investigating that shit. So she was like, well, what else you want me to do? So I'm like, all right, so I told him whatever my PTO time that I want my check. And because I was so mad, and he saw my face, like he even told me, like, you look like you're pissed off, whatever. So the last thing I said, I was like, I want to put in my 2-week notice. And when I told him that, he looked at me like in a concerned way. He was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm sure. But before I told him that, he tried to talk to me in Arabic. And I'm like, and I said this, out of respect for her, speaking in English, although the bitch don't deserve respect. I was like, let's keep it in English as opposed to in Arabic, out of respect for her, I mean, he knows English, but it's not like mine, but it's good enough. So, and then the last thing I told him was like, I want to leave. I can't continue my shift. Like, the way I feel right now, I'm not gonna be able to focus and continue my shift. He's like, all right, that's fine. So I open the door, I leave. I didn't tell the store manager, because why should I tell him? I told his boss I'm leaving. Both of his bosses was in there. So now to them, it's like, oh, Jordan walked out the fucking store. That was like the thing that I heard that they were trying to say, oh, Jordan walked out the store. When in reality, I told the district manager and the region manager that I want to go home. That's the other thing I want. Like, I want to go home today. I can't. And then he was like, all right, you can go home. Is there anything you want? He was like, next week I see you work. The days you work, I'm going to make sure you work those days. And I'm like, that's all I wanted. All I wanted was being promised the days I'm supposed to work. All I wanted was not to be retaliated against and not for me to lose my hours. I don't want any issues. It's her who's causing their problems, and it's him who's causing their problems. He hasn't, I told him he hasn't spoke to me in 1 month. He hasn't said hello to me or had a conversation with me in 1 month. He just passes me by and doesn't say nothing. So yeah, I mean, I ended up putting my 2 weeks, and that's it. I ended up leaving. I didn't tell nobody goodbye my last day. No one really knew about the situation that I was leaving. So I put in my 2 weeks, but then I got this message after I put in my 2 weeks, maybe about 2 weeks later, basically giving me an exit survey, which pretty much means that I think the store manager, who's petty as fuck, he processed it as a termination as opposed to me putting my 2 weeks, because I emailed HR my 2 weeks. So I have proof that I emailed my HR my 2 week notice, but his dumbass processed it as a termination. I mean, it's not like I want to work there anyway. Fuck that job. But yeah, that job was really stressful. I liked it, then I didn't like it. I didn't like it because management was horrible. I didn't like it because I was doing all of the work I was doing and not being appreciated by the work I was doing. And I just didn't like the culture. Like, I didn't like that I was overlooked. Like, when I first got the job, I expressed interest in being a supervisor. And before I knew about the affair, I talked to the store manager about, the supervisor position. And you know what he told me? He said, and this is an oxymoron. This is what he told me. He told me, Jordan, you're super smart, but I need more than that. How does that make sense? It's like telling somebody, I love you, but I don't love you. That doesn't make any sense. And so at that time, I didn't know he was having an affair with a woman, and so when I was in the office with the regional manager and the district manager, I told him that, and I was like, you know what? His credibility goes out the door now, It's out the door. So yeah, I'm telling you, that job was hell on fire. And it's not until maybe a month ago that I felt like I caught up, that I felt comfortable with my bills, that I felt like I didn't have to question what I could buy, what I can't buy to save up money for rent. That's a month ago, like December. So, But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, that job was hell. And they made it feel like you're the problem. I'm telling you, like, gaslighting. Like, so I'm like, I'm never again am I going to work for an organization that's against my, my philosophy or whatever. And like, I don't care what you believe in. Is like I don't deserve to go through what I went through. But yeah, no, I got proof that the bitch lied. So on Labor Day, she told me, "Oh, we're not coming to work on Labor Day." And when you come to work on Labor Day, if you've been there for a year, you get time and a half, right? And so people came on Labor Day. I didn't even tell you all of the story. There's so much. There's like pieces I haven't even said. So there was one time I walked to work, after this whole situation happened, after I reported and everything, I walked to work. My supervisor told me I have to go home. I said, well, why? She's like, because, we're sending people home and we don't have enough things in the bag for everybody. I'm like, well, so-and-so's here, that person's here, that person's here. So she was like, oh, you got to go home. You can call the manager. And so I called the manager. He ignored my calls. I didn't text him like, hey, I was put on the schedule today. I was told to come to work, by the supervisor, and now I'm being told to go home. This is not okay. Next thing you know, as I'm walking home, 5 minutes later, like, Jordan, come back. The supervisor called me. She's like, Jordan, come back. You see what I mean? So, I mean, the only thing I liked about that job was the weight loss and that they pay weekly. That's it. Whew. How you doing? But yeah, that's the only thing I liked about it. Dude, I walked so far. Anybody else here? Sharon, you still on here? But yes, I mean, and then when I quit, I was like, you know what? I told one of my acquaintances down there, I was like, when he asked me what else I want, I should have told him I want a fucking store. That's what I should have told him. Give me a store. Here's the thing. The store manager is clueless as hell. He's not a confrontational person. Like, this is how you know there's no sign of how someone should look for them to have an affair or to do something unethical. There is no look that you should have. When you look at this person, you would not even think that this man is doing what he's doing because he does not fit the bill of the stereotype. Tucked in shirt, Perry Ellis belt, Tommy Hilfiger pants, nice collared shirt, always well groomed, nice haircut. Like, soft spoken, you would have to be super intuitive to know that this man is doing what he's doing. And this is why you don't judge a book by its cover, because you honestly don't know, regardless if the man looks like James Bond or some thug across the street. They both can be doing the same shit. The look doesn't negate what they're capable of doing or what they're doing. So, I mean, a normal person would have walked out. I put in my 2 weeks. I'm like, you know what? That's just how I get the jobs, how I leave the job. That's my new philosophy, so that's what I do. But yes, I mean, and he's still there. Like, they didn't fire him. He still worked there. And she still worked there. So, investigation my ass. But here's the thing. It's very hard to investigate that in the store because they really haven't displayed there's no like concrete sign of them having an affair. But I mean, there's moments where you can like, okay, like one time she came into the store and he came to the store. She came to the store with a nice dress on with some shoes. You know damn well she didn't wear them shoes on when she was out the store. More like she was wearing high heels. And they walked in together. I looked at them. They separated. Okay, so there's like a sign like that. Or she would be in an office on a chair. And one time he was in the office with her, but he was playing with this Lego toy that can attach to the wall. So he was like playing with it. And she was just sitting there on a chair with her legs crossed and everything. So there's not, like, other than that, there's not really concrete evidence unless somebody hires like a private investigator to get pictures or whatever. But that job is not worth it. Like it's barely, it's not, I wasn't even getting paid 15 an hour. Had I was getting salary, like the salary he was getting, you best believe I would have hired a PI and sued the fuck out of them and used that money for them to cover my expenses. But that job is not worth it for me to go through all of that. Cause I would have played the game way smarter than I did. Trust me. So, like, I ain't like, let me walk back. I already walked like over 2 miles. Woo. So now the job I have, I've been there. I actually got hired on my birthday. It's a seasonal job because when I got the job, this person took the last full-time job, but that person's been out for a couple of weeks, and I do feel like they're gonna hire me full-time. I'm not really sure yet, but I've been working full-time hours. Actually, I've been getting overtime and getting more hours than everybody. That's how I am. Like, it's unheard of to start a job in retail and you get the 40 hours your first week or the second week. That's unheard of. Because a lot of people, they're not salesy or they're not conversational or they're not, as slang people say, they're not hustlers. They're not gonna put themselves out there and promote themselves like that. I do. I'm like, if you want me to work for you, let me know. Because a lot of people, they have things to do. A lot of people don't want to work. They have families. Stuff happen. And so you tell the manager, hey, if somebody calls off, put me on there if I'm off. So at that fucking job that gave me hell, every single week I was getting my hours until they started retaliating against me. And it came to the point where, like, I knew everything in that store. I could work other departments. Like, he would do petty stuff and not give me hours to work in other departments. If my department didn't get a truck, for example. Like that hurricane. I would have came in during the Hurricane Francine, I would have came to work. Like, it didn't even hit my area that much, right? And so a lot of people called off the next day. I texted his ass and I told him, hey, like, can I close tonight? Like, the people called off. You know what he did? You know the games he played and what he did? He was like, oh, Jordan, let me text. This is what he did. This is the mind game he played. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a smart one, but it's conniving and it's something you shouldn't do to a person. He was like, oh, let me call so-and-so to see if she's gonna come to work to see if she can give it to you. Well, hold on. He said first, he said this. I asked him, I texted him, like, hey, anybody need me to close for them tonight? Close the store. He goes, no, not at the moment. 10 minutes later, he goes, oh, can you work for 3 o'clock? And I'm like, all right, you want me to come exactly at 3? He was like, wait, hold on. Let me actually call the associate first to see if they're going to come to work or not. Then he texted me 10 minutes later. He was like, oh, they're actually coming in. The next day, I found out that 7 people called off work. Nobody came in to close. You see what kind of games? You see? So he was trying to put up a front, acting like he was trying to help me out. But in reality, he was still trying to play games because he's mad that I came forward about, what I came forward about. So, yeah, and I seen it online on a website, on Indeed, that they're hiring for the shit that I was doing, And here's another thing. We have this girl, she's a white girl, but she's marginalized because she's gay, right? That works with us. They found numerous times alcohol in the back, in a fucking dumpster. I'm talking about vodka. She would come to work drunk. And that's termination. But nothing happens to her because she's marginalized and she fits in. You see what I mean? So, but yeah, I said on mind games he played when he did that. And then there was another situation where a girl, she was like, Jordan, I need you to work for me. I can't be here, until 12 or 1 in the morning. I have a son and he's special needs. So I'm like, all right, no problem. We exchange numbers. I can cover for you tomorrow. She's like, all right, well, let me just call the manager for tomorrow to make sure, like, I'm good and everything. So the day before, when she told me, I went to the grocery store, This is how God works. I saw the supervisor that was closing in. I was like, hey, so-and-so want me to work tomorrow and everything. And I told her I can do it. She's like, all right, Jordan, just like go home, do your thing. And then I'm going to call you and let you know so you can come in. Next thing you know, the girl who wanted me to work for her, she was like, yeah, Jordan, you can cover my shift. I'm calling this store. They hung up the phone on me twice. Then the girl texted me. She was like, oh, Jordan, I'm sorry. They actually found someone to cover my shift. They never found someone to cover her shift, by the way. So that's the kind of games they played. Oh, my hands are getting cold now. Fuck. Shit. I don't know. Ooh, it's cold. Ooh, my hands are getting cold. They are cold. I don't know how I'm gonna walk back. But yes, I'm sorry if my presentation on here is not good for viewing because it's dark. I'm not trying to fall, so I'm trying to walk slowly. So yeah, that's just the hell that I went through. And that happens at every fucking job. This is why I'm so against that whole philosophy and everything, because it just singles out people. And it's just a form of discrimination at the same time, too. Ooh, child, it's cold. I need to get me one of them bikes. I'm not perfect, but, I know I was a good employee. Like, I've never called off. I came to work soaked and wet like 5 times. Like, walking to work. And even the supervisor was like, man, I would have called off if I was you. Like, who comes to work when it rains hard outside? Who walks to work like that? Like, if I was a boss and one of my employees came to work despite the weather being the way it was, I would give the person a raise. Like, you don't get employees like that. And like, that's very rare. And tomorrow I got to be at work tomorrow, despite the snow being like this. And and I'm walking. So I'm walking now. So, it's a fucked up world. It's just how the world is. Ooh, if only if I was there when Trump would have won to see what they all in the back. They didn't like Trump. It's like I was a lone wolf. It's not like we talk politics or anything. We've done it, but damn, they blocked. It's not safe for me to walk right here. They didn't have this before. They blocked off this area. I didn't see this when am I tripping? Or no, they probably did have it. They have no cars right here. Fuck. I don't know why I walk so far. And that car is driving slow. So let me back up because I don't need that car skidding. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Like, they looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. Let me walk. She said I'm looking good. That's the only thing about that job is I lost. I don't even know how much I lost, but I know in June when I checked my weight, when my scale was working, it was 194. So I think I probably got to like 180, maybe 170 something. And even one of my supervisors, they're like, you're each time I see you, you're getting smaller and smaller. That's when I was working at that hellhole. So this is the first time in my life where I lost a lot of that weight and I didn't plan it. It's because I've been walking since like November of 2024. So a year and 2 months. So the weight just came off and I didn't diet. I eat like a dog. I mean, I don't really eat breakfast or I didn't really eat lunch. I would just like eat a lot of shit whenever I would go home from my shift or whatever. So, ooh, it's cold. Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I guess I'll look good, but I don't feel good. Like I need a haircut. Feel like a werewolf. Like I have no motivation. Look at these cars. That's up for buying. Buy me a car. I mean, I could live without a car. It's just sometimes I wish I have one because, you know, I've started to take the bus and it's not reliable. Like one time I took the bus and we literally had to get off the bus because the guy was so late and we had to get on the bus that was behind us. You know, it's just not reliable. So I miss having a car where I can just drive anywhere and play music. You know, it's therapeutic. But other than that, it's like everything is like not too far. Like I don't live in the country. So, and I save money on gas and car insurance and maintenance. So it's like, and plus like where I live, I don't want to get a car where I live. I want to move. I'm about to make 5 years being there in 2 months. Like I've heard some people say, if you live at a place for 5 years, like, and you rent, it's time for you to change, like change your environment. And so I really want to change my environment this year. You know, like I really would like to move. Like, and just have a new environment, new scenery, new neighbors. And actually have an apartment that have fucking furniture and is actually standard of living. Like I live below standard of living. For the past 7, almost 8 years I've been on my own. Like I just live under a shelter, which I'm grateful for, but it's not an apartment where it's like you have your furniture, you have a couch, you have a bed, you have, you know. So like I just want a place where it feels cozy. Like I can like feel comfortable. Like I literally only have a table and a broken air mattress that doesn't even have air in it. That's all I have, and a chair that I sit on. And a microwave. I mean, that's not living. Like that's not a home. Ooh. But yeah, we've been off of work. I've been off of work since Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, and today, and then tomorrow, they want us to come in a little later because, you know, they want the snow to go away. So, not the hours I usually get, but hey. Ooh. Fuck, it's cold. It's probably 30 degrees out here. My hands are fucking freezing. Like, I don't have gloves. Like, I need to get my life together. I need to figure out how to be an adult. Like, I have my car in the parking lot. Still, a year and 2 months, and I haven't got rid of it. I haven't even taken a shit. Like, this is how bad I am. I haven't even taken the stuff out that I had when I lived with my people almost 8 years ago. It's still in my trunk. That's just how bad I am. Like, 7 years. It'll be 8 years, you know, the fall of this year. And it's like, it's still in the back. I haven't taken that out. Whoo! Child. I really walked far because I was talking. Jesus. Fuck. At least I'll be doing 10,000 steps by the time I make it home. Fuck. It's cold. My hands are fucking cold. Fuck. It wasn't affecting me at first, but now it is. Y'all keep me company. Talk. Say something. Ooh, child. It's fucking cold. Just want to go get home. So you've been losing weight? How's your husband? How's your son? What's the update on your husband? Is he better? Oh, my hands are fucking cold. Fuck. Oh. Woo. I'm trying to walk home. I ain't trying to get stopped by the cops. You know, I got my hoodie on. Oh, Lordy. That's good. Your husband feels better. Last time we spoke, I think you lost a family member. And then your husband was going through it with his health. Oh my God, my hands are fucking freezing. Fuck. Like, I'm not even close to being home. I don't know why I walked this far. Fuck. Squeal always leave. But yeah, you and Squeal, y'all stayed. Y'all like the real ones. Like everybody else, they just, they switched up on me. That's how you know who your real supporters are. So I appreciate you, Sharon and Squeal. Ugh. I mean, that's why I came on here and made that. Oh, shit. It's really deep over here. That's why I made that video asking for like money, because I was like struggling because of that job. It's like really. And notice when I said that, one person left the room. Fuck. So how long you been walking now? Ooh, wow, it's so icy. Look how icy it is. Ooh, I ain't walking in that. It must be snowing by you too, like really bad. That's good. Any results? At my new job, they've been trying to make me go to the gym with them. You know me, like I'm old school. I don't believe in hanging out with coworkers out of work. So I just say I'll walk to work. That's my gym. But yeah, and plus like, you know, every single job you get, there's always that one or two people that's just unfriendly. So, I mean, this job is not really, it's not as stressful as the previous job. It's a little bit more personal. It's smaller. I mean, the customers have more of an attitude because I guess this is such a small space and the customer is all up in your like surroundings and everything. So the customers, they make it stressful. It's because they just ask stupid questions or they just, I don't know. They don't know how to follow directions. They're just like with AI and everything. People are relying a lot on technology. They don't know how to do shit themselves, like basic shit. But yeah, it's always that one or two employees. And here's the thing, like, if you don't like me, that's cool, but at least like be cordial in the workplace. Like this, when I first started, like I had to go and fill out paperwork and everything. And I told this girl, hey, I'm going to the back. She just looked at me. She didn't tell me nothing. It's like her energy was like off, you know. And guess what she is? Hispanic. And guess what? She wasn't born here. And guess what? Her English is not even good. So I asked her, now we're cool, but I really don't like her. Because to me, it's like first impressions matter. And once you show me like who you are the first time, which I don't mean to quote Maya Angelou, but it's like, to me, it's like you showing me how unfriendly you were with me for no fucking reason. Or like, she didn't say nothing rude, but very standoffish, but not with other people. So, ooh, I'm about to bust my ass. Fuck. Made me walk over here. I was about to fall. But yeah, very standoffish and condescending. It would have like a slight attitude sometimes. And I told her one time, like, why the attitude? But now it's like, it's a little bit different. But I don't like her, to be honest with you. Because it's like, you are not welcoming. It's like I'm welcoming to people. It's like when you first start at the job, you're a new person. It's like you're kind of new to high school. It's like, be nice to people. Like, there's no reason for you to be mean. Like, I'm not out here to get your job, not out here to take a position that you have or take a management position. I don't know. And I asked her, I'm like, well, why? Because she even said that she didn't like me at first. And I told her, well, I asked her, I was like, well, why didn't you like me? She couldn't even give me an explanation. So, my second week there, actually not my second week, close to a month there, she finally got the keys to the store. She got to be a key holder. After she got her keys, it's like a new person. A new person, I'm telling you. Like a new person. So in my mind, I'm thinking competition. That's what I'm thinking. There's no other fucking reason why you don't like somebody. I do my job. I think it's competition. Because I went in there and they hired me on the spot. I told my manager who it was. My reference was like someone that I knew in college and everything. So I'm sure she knew I went to college and stuff. So someone that speaks English, someone that's an American. So it's like, there's no other reason behind it but competition. But now she's like, why don't you come to the gym with us? And I'm like, bitch, I ain't gonna go to the gym with you, especially after how you treated me in the beginning. Fucking serious? Like, I don't like the fakeness of coworkers. You know what I mean? Sharon, you understand what I'm saying? Like, you're grown, you get me. Now, the other girl who grew up with her, she was really nice since the beginning. Like literally in our first work, like very welcoming and stuff like that. Look, I'm trying to, like, my shoes are fucking untied. Oh, baby, I wish I had a car right now. But yeah, she was nice. Look, they got cops out here. I'm trying to go home. I ain't trying to get in trouble or get anything with no fucking police officer. But yeah, she was nice since the beginning. So I don't even think there's a curfew. I don't know why they got cops out here like there's a curfew. But yeah, so once she got her keys, that's when it's like she started to be more friendly. She started to joke. Like, here's the thing. Like, here's the thing. I'm gonna be like, I like to keep it honest. The guy who started with me, who took the full-time job, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like him. And and it's not because not because he did something wrong with me. It's just because, you know, he's young. He's really young and immature and goofy. And then his work ethic, I don't like his work ethic. Now, she also said she doesn't like him. Now, she provided her reason as to why she don't like him. She said she don't like him because of how he works, you know. And I can see that. But he's a nice guy. He's cool. Like, he's cool, you know, he's friendly. It's just like, you know, a lot of people, they're on their phones or they're slackers or they do things that they should do last as opposed to, like, doing things that they should be doing first, like helping out the customers as opposed to doing something in the back. It's like, we're busy. Why are you in the back doing stuff when we got customers up front? But I didn't tell her I wasn't really feeling him. I just told her, well, why don't you like so-and-so? Because, you know, I'm playing the game. Like, I'm not about to be super real with you after. Plus, like, I don't like all that gossip and stuff. So, but here's the thing. The girl's not even fluent in English. Like, the other day she asked, she's like, what's a jackass? She didn't know what that was. Like, she doesn't know how to pronounce stuff. Like, she says cheap as sheep. Like as an animal, sheep, as, you know. So, but here's the kicker, though. The boss is Hispanic. So, I'm sure you catch my drift where I'm going with this, right? So, like, it doesn't matter if her English is not good. You know, the boss is Hispanic. So, you understand? But the good thing about it is it's a franchise. The people who own it are conservative. They support Donald Trump. So there's some leeway there where I don't have to worry about all of this DEI bullshit, whatever. Whew. Yeah, she can't speak English. Like, she's been in America for like almost 10 years. And here's the other kicker, Sharon. I'm sure she gets paid more than I do. That's not even funny. That's the truth. Ooh, my fucking hands are fucking cold. And here's the other kicker. So we get, I'm not going to say what the job is, but we get people that come into the job to pick up stuff. And one of the drivers is really personal. And so we've talked, and I would try to make like low-key exchanges with him because, you know, he talks politics and he's a Trump supporter and everything. So one time we was talking about immigration and everything, and my manager, who wasn't born here, but he's been here since he was like a toddler, and you would not even know because his English is really good. He was like, illegal immigrants don't commit any crime. There's no source out there or whatever. And I'm like, well, a lot of those sources, they're liberal-minded. Second of all, you coming here illegally, that's a crime. So that makes you a criminal. So your argument goes out the door or whatever. But anyways, that Spanish girl who I was telling you about, a lot of people, like with them, they call us gringos, like people who are American and stuff. So she doesn't know that I'm Middle Eastern or whatever. So, and I knew what this bitch was trying to do. One day we was working together. It was just her and I. And we were talking and everything. And she was like, if we have to go back to my country, I'll go back. You know, Trump is a racist. Mind you, this bitch is a racist herself. She's prejudiced, whatever. Towards black folks. Like, I've caught signs, whatever. So it's normally the people who talk about racism, they're the fucking issue. I'm trying not to fall. Ooh, Lord, it's cold. Are you listening, Sharon? So she was like, when she asked me, she was like, oh, so where are your parents from? You know, and I kind of feel like maybe my manager told her or whatever, because we had that discussion and they talk, although I told them don't fucking tell nobody our conversations, whatever. So I was like, oh, they're from the Middle East, but they came here in the 60s. So she was like, oh, so now since I told her this, now I'm like her. She's like, oh, so they're not from here? So basically, she's trying to say because I don't want illegal immigrants here, that because my parents are not from here, that illegal immigrants should be here. That's what she's trying to fucking say. or that I'm not like John Fitzgerald, who's 8th generation Irish or German. So I told her, look, Joe Schmo could walk in the door and his great grandparents could be from Ireland. That doesn't take away anything about how people feel about people coming here without paperwork. It still stands. And you cannot compare someone who's first, second, third generation, who was born here, who's only lived in the country here all their life and don't know anything else, and to a person who's coming here illegally and it's not their fucking world. I didn't say fucking, and it's not their world. You see what I mean? So it's like you're comparing apples to a fucking plum. Anyways, I think that's what she was trying to say, but she didn't want to say it. Then she was like, oh, Americans don't really know where Honduras is or whatever, because I asked her where it was on the map. Whatever. The bitch can't even speak English, but then she's talking about education in America, but she can't even fucking speak English. Or she can't even pronounce cheap. She calls it sheep, like a fucking animal. And when customers ask her what she's trying to say, it's very hard for them to understand her. The audacity to even, although my state is number 47 in education, and she has a point, the education system here sucks, but bitch, you can't even speak the basic standard of English. You can't even like fit in the basic accommodation of what it is to even do this fucking job. You can't speak English 100%, you know? So the audacity for you to say that Americans don't know about other countries. Well, who gives a fuck about Honduras? I don't remember anything in school learning about fucking Honduras. Everything was about the Brits, Europe, Middle East, nothing about Latin America. I don't remember nothing. That's because, unless they're talking about Mexico, that's because it's like in America, and tell me this if I'm wrong, like in your state, it's like we're not going to learn anything in history unless it has something to do about America being involved. Like I took world history. In world history, they just teach us about slavery, you know. And then American history teaches us about America and the Constitution, the preamble, the Declaration of Independence. It's like, why the fuck we need to know about Honduras? What the fuck is in Honduras that I need to fucking know about? So when a bitch from Honduras, the fucking president, was telling Trump, when that bitch said the other day, she was like, if you deport any of the Hondurans here, like we're going to take all the military bases away. I didn't even know we had military bases in Honduras. You see what I mean? So, I mean, am I correct about that? Do you remember learning about Honduras or like other Nicaragua, Guatemala in school? No, I don't. They didn't teach us that. Did you learn about it up north? Because, well, baby, I didn't even know they had bases in Honduras. I just knew there's bases in the Middle East, in Europe, not Honduras. Like, why? Anyways, all them fucking immigrants that fucking come here, you would think that the bases over there would fucking work by capturing them. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what? I don't give a fuck about Honduras, okay? That's where the bitch is from. So, why do I need to learn? I mean, I don't mind learning about other things. I like to learn, but for her to even like degrade the education system here in America when the bitch can't even speak English. I see if she was fluent in English, she has a point about the education system. But at the same time, you're talking about yourself. You're being hypocritical. Now, if you spoke fucking English fluently, if you sounded better than Melania Trump, that's how bad her English is, then I would say, well, your point is valid, but your point is not valid because you fulfill the point you're trying to fucking make. She said, now you sound like a Republican. They gonna call you a racist. Be careful. I needed this laugh. Hold on, let me get out this fucking snow. Well, my favorite place is closed, Trader Joe's. I actually like Trader Joe's. All of the workers there, they're like, you know, they have nose rings and stuff. I have bad OCD. Woo. Like, I don't share this with people, but I have a tendency of feeling like I dropped something on the floor, so I always got to look behind me. Because I don't like having a wallet. It just takes too much fucking space in my pocket. So I just put, if whatever I put in my in my pocket, it's just in my pocket. So sometimes I feel like I dropped something and I look behind me, and it gets aggravating when I do that. But yeah, so I knew what she was trying to say. Basically, since my parents weren't born here, that I should not be against immigrants or illegal fucking immigrants. Bitch, bye. Like, fuck you. You know. Then she goes, oh, all Spanish people are not the same. I'm like, okay, well, all people who are first, second generation, third generation should not think like you because they are, you know, second or first generation. You know, all black people should not be voting for Obama or Kamala Harris. You know, there are Spanish people that actually are conservative. So I brought Cubans, and so when I said Cubans, they don't consider Cubans as Hispanic because they're conservative. You see how fucking racist that is? Oh, I feel better now getting out that. But yeah, so and the reason why we got on that topic, well, she brought up that topic. I didn't, because I told her I taught ESL and stuff. Because she was trying to tell me, she was like, oh, Jordan, push. She said something wrong. She said bring together. And I'm like, push together? She's like, oh, stop picking on me. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm trying to help you. I used to teach ESL. She goes, oh, really? Like, you know, why won't you do it now? And then all of a sudden, like, that topic came about. Like, but I knew what that bitch was trying to do, being slick and shit. Like, oh, where your parents from? How you go from where my parents from to now bring up politics? And the reason why she brought up politics is because when I talk to the driver, I've caught her listening or looking at me whenever I would speak politics, whatever. So they would hear. So I would say, well, it's about coming here the right way. And guess what? Her parents are here illegally. Hello. That's why the bitch offended. And her grandma believes is here illegally. Well, fuck, if her parents are illegal, then the grandparents are here illegally too. So, and I'm telling you, Sharon, these people, they got cars, they drive. Like, they don't even have a fucking license, a driver's license. They got a fucking car and they fucking drive. Ain't that crazy? Like, a lot of them, they got nice ass cars. I'm being loud walking in this neighborhood. But yeah, so what you cooked today? I've been eating processed food. I have to stop doing that. And that's the other downfall of not having a car. It's like I can't buy like some water. Like I can't buy sometimes I feel like I'm being Joe Biden because I can't even say what I'm trying to say. Like I can't buy fuck. Something's wrong with me. I'm not even trying to say a gallon of water. I can't buy a pack of water. Fuck, that's it. A pack of water. Can't buy a pack of water. Like I used to buy these Ozarka bottles. There's like 35 and it's like $4.99. I can't do that because I have to walk. And that's a lot to carry. So that's the other downfall. And I haven't had tacos since I had a car. I used to love making tacos. So the other day on Monday night when I bought over $70 of food, I was struggling walking home. There's a lot of shit in my fucking hand. You know? Fuck, I couldn't even say what I was trying to say. A pack of water. Is that the right fucking word? Shit. I feel like I'm losing my memory because I oversleep. Like I slept all day yesterday, all day today. That fucks up your memory, your cognitive skills if you oversleep. Shit. But I mean, there is, especially now, like in the New Year's, a lot of cars that are like 2024 from last year a lot of dealerships, they like to take them out of stock, you know, so they can put in the new year cars in there. So a lot of cars are on sale right now. And it's also good to buy a house in January because you're starting from the first of the month. I don't know why it's not like I'm complaining. Like I need to be grateful. I'm not complaining, but shit, you know, like I'm grateful. I notice I complain a lot. I complain a lot. I don't say thank you for my blessings and stuff. Like shit can be worse, you know. Fuck. Woo. I don't know why I walked this fucking far. I'm literally passing up my job right now. So fuck. Ooh, child. I should take a picture and like, look, this is it's safe to work tomorrow. Then like, come in that early in the morning then. But I complain all the time. Like, I gotta stop doing that. I still haven't figured out how to be an adult. Woo. Like, I need to go to the doctor. I need to get my eyes checked. My eyes fucked up. I went to one of them doctors that's in them Walmarts or Targets. I do not recommend that. That doctor was fucking horrible. You know what he told me? He told me you can't lose your eyesight if you're on your laptop or on your fucking phone. Are you fucking kidding me? That's how I lost my fucking eyesight. I used to have 20/20 vision. He was like, well, if that's the case, I would have a line of people at my door. Like, I don't trust no doc. I'm sorry. I don't trust any medical person after. Like, I'm so OCD. I don't even want to wear glasses. I feel like wearing glasses is gonna fuck me up. So I had ordered contacts and glasses, and then, you know, the glasses, you have to get used to it. So I didn't really wear them that much. I only had them for like a week until I turned them in and stuff and got my refund. But I was getting dizzy. I'm gonna let my manager know that the store is fine. It's just snow everywhere. Ooh, fuck, it's cold. Shit. Hold on, I may freeze a little bit because I'm gonna take a picture of something. So don't leave. All right, I'm back. Oh my God, I still have 1.5 miles left to walk. Fuck. Oh, like my hands are fucking freezing. Shit. I know I probably walked 4 fucking miles in the snow. So I'm like literally walking from square one to my job to home. It's all right. It's exactly 1.5 miles from my house. Ugh. I mean, I can always call an Uber, maybe. The bus is not working today. And my hands are like fucking cold. Now, if I get off this phone and I put my hands in my pocket, I would probably feel better, but I haven't live streamed. She said I'm worried for you. I'm gonna be really honest. And I hate when people say that because that means they're not honest. But if somebody was in my situation, what I've dealt with the past 8 years, they would have committed suicide. They would have killed themselves. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, they would have killed themselves. No family, no friends, isolated, homeless. Like, they would have fucking killed themselves. So, I mean, I thank God, guardian angels, people watching over me, because I'm telling you, like, ooh, let me get off this fucking road before these cars come. Baby. Hold on. Well, it's not about being smart or dumb. It's just the mental anguish. It's just a lot to deal with. Like, even the smartest person could be broken apart. It's just not having support system and being alone and stuff, you know? So, and I ain't gonna lie, I get lonely sometimes. Like, I felt that today. That's how I'm like, let me get out the house, because I've been inside for almost 2 days. Woo, my fucking hands are cold. Ooh. You know, and I've been working like 6 days a week. I only need like 1 day off because I get bored after the first day and I don't do anything. Even customers are like, man, you're here all the time. Besides YouTube, which I'm really grateful, although YouTube did put me through hell, like I'm grateful. Like I haven't gotten my big break, like a salary that I deserve. Like I've never had a salary even that made $40K a year. Ain't that crazy? Ooh, child, my hands are fucking cold. See, I'm looking on the ground. I'm trying to make sure I ain't dropped nothing. But I know I only got 2 things on me. I don't know why I'm looking. What's the condition of frostbite? What degree it has to be? I know it's probably like 20 degrees maybe. Or maybe 27. Oh, Lord, it's cold. I'm gonna have to walk to work tomorrow. Like late morning. So I'm practicing. I'll stay with you, but I won't be upset if you get off. No, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna walk all the way, then I'm gonna get off. But what's the temperature? What does the temperature have to be in order for someone to get frostbite? Come on, nurse, use your medical degree. 'Cause I have no gloves on. And my shoe, my left shoe's untied. Ooh, Lord, ooh, Lord, ooh, Lord. Here's the thing, like, I don't want to jinx myself, but like I've been on a month for my lease. And so technically, like, I don't think they would do that because I always pay my rent on time. Like if they would tell me, hey man, like we're deciding to move in a different direction. We want to renovate the place. We want to up the rent, you know, or lease it to someone else. Like I'd be fucked. Like honestly, like I'd be fucking fucked. And so that's always in the back of my mind. You know, I mean, I don't think they would ever do that, but I think about that sometimes. Well, bitch, shit, I've been out too long. I've been out maybe 3 hours, I don't know. Close, ooh, I'm about to fall. 2 hours. But I've been walking. Ooh, my hands are getting cold. I'm not too far. I'm like maybe a mile. When I get home, I'm putting my hands on there. But yeah, in the back of my mind, I always think about that. And now I don't even have a car. So it's like, I'd be fucked if that would ever happen to me. I mean, I could always go to my family's place, but I don't want to. But still. I'm switching my hands because, you know, I'm trying to put it. Like, even the car's driving fucking slow. That's how bad it is. Ooh, child. But, yeah, I don't know. I just want a job that pays me well. Like I need an opportunity. Oh yeah. And it's bad to stay in the house for 2 days like that. Like, right? Isn't it bad to sleep all day? Eat junk and sleep back and forth? That's not good. It's like having an addiction. But this is what I did every day now. What I still do, I walk to work. I still walk to work. I've been walking to work for, let me see, since March of 2024. But I've been walking overall since November of 2024. But I was still working from home. Then my first job was March 2024, you know. So, fuck, I need to use the restroom. Yeah, but you know, one day is okay, but I did that yesterday too. And today. And Monday. Well, no, Monday actually I went out at, no, I did Monday too, but I went out at night at like 9 o'clock to buy food, 9 p.m. And I was the only person walking outside. Like I'm the only person now. Or barely any cars out here. Sometimes I feel like I need to get my heart checked because sometimes like I get a pain, not a pain, but it's like tension on my left chest. So, it's like I sleep on my left side a lot too. So I mean, like you know, an Arab open, they store open, that discount zone open. You know an Arab own that fucking store. Ain't no other person gonna be open, but an Arab or an Asian. I should go in there to use their restroom, use my DEI card, and speak Arabic to use their restroom. I just want, and then I want a comfortable bed. Like, I mean, I can always order me a mattress or whatever, but I've been looking at that on Amazon. Fuck, I need to pee. Shit. Like, I was looking on Amazon the other day. But the thing is like, I gotta be home when they deliver it because people, they steal. I don't trust people. Like, I sleep on the fucking floor. Like, on the air mattress on the floor. I'm used to it by now. Like, I'm used to it, but still, like, I need a bed. I ain't gonna lie, like, I miss having a bed. All that money I spend on food. I spend like $20, sometimes $30 a day on food. Every fucking day. Every day. Man, I need to pee. Shit. Sometimes I feel like I have diabetes. I need another apartment. That's what I need. I wish I can just get another place. I don't like where I live. I gotta pee. I don't want to walk too fast because I don't want to fall. It's slippery. Is it snowing up there? I mean, that's a dumb question to ask. I'm sure it is. And you guys are really used to it. Ooh, Lord. Like, if it gets 60 degrees, people here in this house, it's cold outside. They'll complain. It's too hot. It's too humid. The moment it turns 60, it's too... There is no place to pee. Everything's closed. Besides that gas station I passed. That's owned by an Arab. When it gets 60, it's like, it's too cold. Like people down here, they're really extra. Well, when it's humid, they complain about it. You know, when it's cold, they complain about it. Like, honestly, I can probably walk out here with no jacket on. but that wouldn't be a good idea. I'm about to pass a fried chicken place. If they was open, I would go and pee, but I don't think they're open. Everything is closed right now. I have probably, I know I said that earlier, but maybe a little over a mile to walk. I'm like maybe 20 minutes away. Yeah, I'm 20 minutes away. About 20 minutes. Ooh, Lord. Yeah, but you're used to driving in it, right? It's crazy how we had a hurricane. It's like September 2024, and now it's snowing. It's like, I don't know what's going on. I know a lot of people are like, see, global warming is real. I don't know what the issue is. Yeah, see, even the chicken place closed. There are lights on, but they closed. I don't know. All I can say is by God. That's it. I don't know what's going on with the weather. Oh, yeah. We're driving. The bar here is open. They got a bar right here. They're open. But it's okay. I'm all right. I only have 15 minutes. Oh, the gas station right here. See, Arabs, they own it. And this bar here that I'm passing up, they're open. Like I'm like young. I'm 32, but I live my life like an old man. Like I live in a nursing home or something. Like I'm young. Go pee, I'll wait. No, I already passed it up. Oh, I'm about to pass up a gas station. No, I'm good now. I'm okay. But yeah, I'm like an old person. It's like I got my first iPhone like 4 years ago. I mean, I had an Android, but still, it's like I never had Netflix. I never had a digital streaming service. Ain't that crazy? Never had Hulu, never had Disney Plus, Amazon Plus. No, that's by choice, but it's like I don't try new things. I haven't traveled. I haven't been on a vacation since like 2008. Shit, I've barely been on a vacation. I haven't been on one vacation in my life. Well, maybe two. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. 2 vacations, I'll say 2. Ooh. Only been on 2. I think I'm past old. I think I'm like, what's another word? Torn into pieces. I've been trying to see if I can get a job overseas teaching English. Like I really want, man, I gotta pee again. Shit. I really want to teach in the Middle East. I've been wanting to do that for a while. Like I'm gonna travel, like my career in media, I don't know where that's going. I don't think that's gonna happen. And media is changing. Like even a lot of people in local news are losing their jobs and stuff. Like it's changing. Everything is digital now. So yeah, like in 2017, I went to this seminar so I can get my certificate to teach a foreign language, which I just got, by the way. I took one online. So that's a good thing. Like, I don't know if y'all remember me telling y'all this. I just finished it maybe like 4 months ago. It took me a long time to do it. Cause I had an interest in teaching in South Korea. You know. And so yeah, I think the course is like $1,000. I put it on the back burner because I'm like, I really want to work in media or whatever. Fuck, I gotta pee again. Shit. So but obviously the career didn't happen, and working jobs that I don't like, and then I made my YouTube channel and everything, and then I got some success off of that. But yes, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm lost. Like, I haven't really got the job that I wanted, and then COVID happened. This place, I don't know if this place is open, but they're usually 24 hours. But yeah, I need to use the restroom. Shit. They're probably closed. So, no, they're closed. They're even closed, and they're always 24 hours. No, I don't know if they're open. Yeah, they're closed. What could have messed everything up? COVID? Woo! I'm like a half a mile maybe away. It's like 15 minutes. I don't know. What are you saying could have messed everything up? It's just, to me, like, even when I was walking by my house, that was brutal because it was like more snow over there. So I have to be extra careful. I wish I ain't walked this fucking far. Shit. No, I wasn't gonna travel when COVID happened. Ooh, I gotta pee. I was saying COVID happened, like, you know, just general, just happened. Nothing to do with wanting to travel. It just ooh, I gotta pee. Because I wasn't even looking for like that kind of job during COVID. I still want to work. I was looking for media stuff. Like, I was going through, and I talked about it on here. But yeah, so now I really don't know what I want to do. I mean, I like to talk to people, you know. Not all the time, but I mean, I wouldn't mind, like I said, going overseas and teaching and stuff, but you just gotta find, number one, it's a different country, so you gotta find, like, you know how when you get a job here, it's like you want to research the company, you want to make sure the company's good and everything. But this is different because you're going to a whole nother world with a different society and different rules and laws and stuff. And then on top of that, you got to worry about things that you worry about in your own country, like, is the job good? Plus, even more, you have to worry about, well, if you get fired, where the fuck you gonna go? You know, like stuff like that. Like, you got to have a backup plan. Because it's like, if I leave, I'm going to be homeless if something goes wrong. You see what I mean? So it's like, I don't have a plan B. So you can't just working for 15 minutes to pee. They got immigrants that would just pee outside. But anyways, so I wonder why they got cars over here. Yeah, I've been out here for 2 hours. Like over 2 hours, and it's cold. I'm almost there. I'm like 10 minutes away, maybe 11. I'm almost there. I'd be in a tree. No, I'm good. I mean, you know. I'm telling you, they live right by me and they just pee. Like comfortably. They don't give a damn. Whew. I think, is there anything scientific about that, with it being really cold? And that, see how I almost fell? And that's making you want to pee. Is coldness the result of someone wanting to pee? Because sometimes I feel like that's the case when it's really cold. I'm just glad I didn't fall. Let me not jinx myself. But yeah, I'm not that far, but still a walk. Yeah, COVID messed everything up. Like COVID messed up everything. Like COVID opened my eyes, but it also took a part of my identity away from me. Like it took away something I really wanted to do with my life professionally since I was in the 6th grade. Why do I smell weed? Rhetorical question. But so I think it's a blessing. And then, I mean, I think it's also a blessing. See, I keep looking behind me thinking I dropped something. I think it's a blessing because it's like it opened my eyes, but it also like, you know, I really wanted to work the job that I wanted to work. Woo! Let me get out of here. And like, I had opportunities, which I talked about on here. And I would say also my opinionatedness, but I wouldn't even say that as having an opinion because it's true, about just like COVID and the medicine and everything caused me to lose opportunities and also not. Ooh, child, I need to fucking pee. Shit. And also, I don't know. Something was off. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You're a nurse. Like, this shit was not real. And I was like, I ain't doing that shit. So it's dry right here a little bit. So I can kind of speed up and walk. Fuck. Well, I'm going to be happy when I get home. It's 9 o'clock over here. 9:14. I'm about to walk in the street. The street is clearer than the fucking sidewalk with snow. Fuck. I don't want to bust my ass and fall. Imagine somebody falling in ice. Like, that's dangerous. Like, people that live in really cold places like Alaska, and they just fall in ice and they just freeze to death and drown. It's just, fuck. All right, well, I'm about to get off because my hands are cold and I need to pee. And I'm almost home. So, like, I need to use the restroom. She said bye. I would come back on later, but I don't think y'all gonna be here anyway. So, yeah, I need to pee. So, thank you for stopping by. I'll probably come on tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.